Stephanie joins us this morning. Stephanie, that's not altogether untrue, is it? Folks, you don't have to run the entire marathon. You could do it as a part of a relay team and still have a big part of the fun on that day and still be ready to go and help out.
Yes, you can do the relay team, and that's 4 members. You can do, I guess, as many as you want. You can have 3 members, 2 members. It depends how much you want to run. But most of the teams are 4-member team relays, and they will start at 9 a.m. on Sunday, November 5th. And we have a few that have been winning. Like we have one team that has won over the last couple of years. You could do that, and that way you don't have to run 13 miles, but you can also run the half marathon and then the full marathon.
Yeah. All right. We should reintroduce the segment because the recorder didn't pick up the very beginning of it. Stephanie Daniels is with us, and the Indiana County Veterans Marathon is coming up in November. Uh-oh. The line just went kind of wonky on us. There. It's back. It's back. Stephanie, the event is coming up, and give us the thumbnail of what the marathon is all about.
We run the marathon right out of Sailor Park on Ghost Town Trail, and it benefits the Western Pennsylvania Veterans Relief Fund, and we established it by the race to provide assistance to area veterans. All proceeds from the InFirst Bank Veterans Marathon, Half Marathon, and Relay are donated to this fund.
Yeah.
And if you're a veteran or you know of a veteran that needs assistance, you can go to veterans. You can email, and I'm the one who answers all the emails. So it's veteransmarathon@outlook.com.
Veteransmarathon@outlook.com.
Yeah, right. You find some more information that way.
Now
that's what the race benefits. But the race itself, like I said, there's a marathon, half marathon, and marathon relay, and it's on the Ghost Town Trail. There's a slight incline on the way out, but the good thing is on the way back, you get to run all downhill.
It's all downhill from there.
Yeah,
and you need that. You need that kind of assistance when it gets when you get past mile 15 or 16. You say to yourself, "I need a little bit of help," and the ground is going to help you out there.
Yeah,
Stephanie, I know that for InFirst Bank, this is a really big deal. I mean, the bank just turns out with volunteers to help out, and it's a pretty amazing effort on their part, isn't it?
Yes, they have an aid station. Jess runs that aid station, Jess Cunningham. She's huge and she helps us with she does tons and tons of work on the marathon, and so does Tim. But yeah, they have a whole aid station, and that's not the only thing they do that morning. Tim will stand and hand out your medals. They do tons of work behind the scenes. If it wasn't for them, I would have went crazy last year when we took it over, Carl and I. And this year's even much smoother. They do a ton of work behind the scenes. Jess does all the sponsorships, marketing. And anything else that I don't happen to notice, I didn't do. So I'm still in the learning stage, and they've been wonderful. Tim and Jess have both been wonderful, and everybody else who works at the bank that helps with the marathon. They have tons of volunteers, like I said, come out that morning.
Yeah.
And that's hard because you're there all day, and I give so much credit to these volunteers and everybody who helps with the race. You're there all day, and, it's a volunteer thing, so you're not being paid to be there. You're doing it because either you love running or you love the Western PA Veterans Relief Fund. Mm-hmm. So,
for a very long time, Stephanie, the Indiana County Veterans Marathon has been a Boston Marathon qualifier. Is that the case again this year?
Yes, and we just had the course recertified this past spring. So it's really, really official now. Yes, it's a Boston qualifier. It's a good Boston qualifier. Like I said, there's a slight incline going out and then a nice decline coming back. You could PR on this course. And there's a lot of people that Boston qualify.
Yeah.
And I wish I had the numbers in front of me, but I don't.
Well, one of the interesting things about that it may be the last. It's at least one of the last qualifiers for that marathon. So folks who haven't yet qualified for the Boston Marathon, they're jumping on board this one. It's their last chance.
Yeah, I have to look at it. COVID changed a lot of the rules. It used to be Erie was the last one in September, but they pushed the date back. So I'm not sure if this one, if InFirst qualifies you for this year. I think it's not like if you run in first, I don't think you can qualify for Boston in April. I think it's the following year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But there will be plenty of folks coming from not only our area, but from all over, really, a number of different states to run here in Indiana County. And you're right, it is a wonderful course on which to run. There's no traffic. You're out of that because you're on the Ghost Town Trail. And they turn it into a really, really special event. So for folks who want to run and to be a part of the marathon, you mentioned they can run as part of a relay team. They can run the half marathon or the full marathon. Where are they going to get? What's the best source of information for them?
You can go to Run Sign Up and look up InFirst Bank Veterans Marathon, a half marathon and marathon relay. And actually, this is a really great time for me to be on the radio because our prices go up September 5th. And right now, the marathon's $40, the half marathon's $40, and the marathon relay is $40, which is very cheap for a Boston qualifying marathon or even a relay team. I mean, that's really, really good prices for a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
And they will go up September 5th. And there was something else I was going to say about that. But you can go on Run Sign Up. You can go to our Facebook page. You can also go to our website, which is www.veterans/marathon.com to find any information you want for the race.
Veterans/marathon.com.
I'm sorry, -marathon.com.
Oh, veterans-marathon.com.
Yes.
All right, very good. And you said Run Sign Up?
Mm-hmm.
Run Sign Up is where you go and search for the Veterans Marathon, and you can get signed up in that way. It is a very, very special thing. Many, many veterans want to volunteer for this as well, and so you are able to give them that opportunity too. I know for the vets it's a meaningful thing, isn't it?
Oh, yes, and if anybody wants to volunteer, they can contact me at the email I gave out before, veteransmarathon@outlook.com. I'm just now starting to gather up the volunteers. It is very meaningful to a lot of the vets in the area. We have a couple that run with us and also volunteered this morning. And if you are a veteran and you want to run the race and you send a paper ballot in, you only pay $26.2. $26.02. Well, 20 cents. But if you have to send a paper ballot in, and you can get that ballot on our website also.
So it's $40 to run the marathon, but if you're a veteran, it's $26.20.
Right.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh. I know that there's a lot of work that goes on between now and then for the folks who organize the race, the folks at InFirst Bank that are taking part in it, and all of the background work that goes on to make this such a great event, and anybody can take part in that. If they are running, though, Stephanie, I know that you're in the business of helping people prepare for running big events like this. You have some tips for folks who are going to be running the marathon or thinking of running the marathon and need to start training?
Well, I think, let's see, what are we in September?
Yeah.
If you're running a marathon, and right now, like you said earlier, I don't know if right now would be the time to say, hey, I'm going to run a marathon in November. You might want to start preparing for that a little bit earlier, but I think you still have time to run the half marathon and get a relay team together.
There you go.
I wouldn't suggest starting to train for a marathon now, but there's plenty of room in the half marathon. And the relay team is that's, I think, one of the best events for people who are going between a 5K, a 10K, and maybe a half marathon. They're just not ready to do the half marathon yet. The relay team, you get the whole team environment, the competition. You really have a good time with your team. So if you don't really want to do a half marathon yet, and we don't have a 5K or 10K option, the relay team seems to be the in-between.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty smart option, though. That's a good way to go about it. Wonderful. Stephanie, thanks so much for visiting with us this morning. We'll catch up with you and with others involved with the InFirst Bank Indiana County Veterans Marathon again a couple of more times between now and then, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Have a wonderful day today.
You too. Bye.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.